Welcome to the Dusty Futon Remix, Season 1, Episode 2. I'm Big Jon, the host of the Dusty Futon, and we're doing these remixes to get you excited for upcoming Season 6. That's going to be debuting April 4th of next year, and there's going to be so many more styles of interviews and styles of episodes, new content, new co-hosts. We're going to incorporate some video and so much more. And we are looking for guests for Season 6 right now. So if you're in the Southern California or Phoenix area or traveling through there anytime soon, let us know. We want to get you on an episode. Email us at admin@dustyfuton.com. In these next few episodes of Season 1, Tyler and I actually start talking about music. In this first one, Episode 4, we actually find out a little bit more about his musical background and mine as well. So enjoy Season 1, Episode 4 of the Dusty Futon.
Well, it's dirty and it's brown, it's a little down, like I just got it out of been lost and found. Trying to test it, germ infested, stained by food, partially digested. Nobody can say what you find between the dirty couch cushions that have never been cleaned. Missing keys or American cheese, trapped at the set where the kiss will conceive. Pleasure to meet ya, we're happy to see ya in the Dusty Futon.
Your hair smells nice. Would you please get off of my shoulders? This is kind of awkward.
But I like this look. It's like Freak the Mighty. What? Have you ever read that book, Freak the Mighty?
Yeah,
No,
I don't
book.
think
It's
I
called
have.
Freak the Mighty. It was like this really big dumb kid, and then like this smart, kind of frail, smart kid, and he rode on his shoulders. And together they were like this unstoppable force, you know, with his strength and his smarts, they could accomplish anything, basically.
Freak the Giant.
Actually, I never read the book.
Oh.
I just knew about it. I just knew the basis. I cheated.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're a cheater. Did you buy the Cliffs? Did you ever buy Cliffs Notes?
No, I never
did.
did. I never took advantage of that.
I did. And you know what? I was so lazy in school. I did buy in high school.
But you're always such a go-getter.
I know, it's weird. But I was so lazy in school but I was good at this. I would get the Cliffs Notes and write basically, I wouldn't plagiarize. I would take words and I'd become a thesaurus in my own mind, and I'd get the synonyms.
Yeah.
And I'd change the wording using like old English style writing. So my writing was always flawless because I used a thesaurus style of writing where I never technically plagiarized, but
Yeah, exactly. Like you basically copy and paste from the internet, but you switch a phrase around here.
well, the internet is awesome.
Yes.
Because
God
with the
bless it.
advent of internet, we were able to see ourselves on Nick's episode last week.
Yes, and not only that, but just run a podcast, period.
Well, yeah, let's tout ourselves for being amazing people, human beings. we created the Dusty Futon from scratch.
Bask in our glory.
Yes, but yeah, it was a blast having him on, and
Yeah.
I liked that. Did you like that?
I really did I just love hanging out with Nick anyway. He really is genuinely my friend, and he's just a good guy, not just a former bandmate. So it was really nice having him by and seeing him and seeing things. But
Awesome. I think we should definitely go for having more musicians on this show now and kind of just talk to them.
yeah.
In fact, I'm looking at a musician right now.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I do. I dab a little in the six-string world of guitar.
And we talked a little bit last week about you playing guitar.
Yes.
And you played guitar for GFI. But what did you do before that? You said you tinkered a lot in your own room. Were you ever in like anything locally here in San Diego before GFI?
GFI, believe it or not, was my first band. I had a couple garage projects with some friends. Never really did anything or gigged anywhere.
And that's where I kind of ended because I'm a drummer and I put together a lot of good beats and I was able to hold steady rhythms. So I did a lot of garage band type stuff.
Yeah.
And it's fun. It's great, but it's awesome to finally get out and actually do something.
Yeah, when you can finally get a bunch of heads together and you collaborate and create something beautiful and complex, and then you share it with others, that's exactly why we wanted to be in a band.
So the question I have for you, I don't know if I've asked you this on or off the mic. Are you still pursuing that kind of musician aspect, or is it more of a if something falls on my lap kind of thing?
Well, me and Nick, of course, we've tossed around the idea of coming back and doing some GFI shows, but I don't want to limit to myself to just GFI. I never wanted to. I always wanted to branch out and try new things, test new horizons and just see what was out there for me. But one of the problems with being a guitar player is that there's so many of us that you kind of get overlooked. Everybody is always looking for a good bass player or a good drummer, but good guitar players are a dime a dozen.
Yeah, you know what? I have to agree with you, but that's a negative perspective because that's what vocalists will see and say. But I play guitar a little bit myself. I dabble in it. I'm decent at rhythm, but noticing the technical aspect of being a lead or even a rhythm guitar, if you're technically well done, if you know your stuff, your techniques and everything, you're gonna stand out. And from watching you, I've seen that, and I like that. And I'm not gonna give you a blowjob right here on the microphone or anything.
Darn it!
I'm gonna back off of that topic and go with go back to me. I play drums. No, but yeah, and you make a valid point though, because there are tons of guitarists out there who can imitate really well.
Yeah.
But if they don't have the technical knowledge from learning everything the right way, they're not going to be that good.
Now, I have to say that I didn't learn everything the right way. In fact, when I jumped into GFI, I didn't know thing number one about solos. I had no experience doing any of that. I basically learned how to play guitar by listening to Metallica songs.
Oh, so you're one of the imitators.
Yeah, I was an imitator. I was an emulator at first, and that's kind of just how I learned how to play. But I wanted to take it to the next level, and that was just kind of part of my persona. I always wanted to just take it to the next step. Okay, what's next? What's next? That's how I found GFI, and they kind of just laid it out on the table. They said, dude, if you're going to do this, you need to learn how. And I just kind of went, Gope. All right, let's do it. And I tried something, and they were actually very impressed the first time.
Wow.
I surprised myself even. By stepping up and going into unfamiliar territories that I was uncomfortable with, I ended up growing as a guitar player, and I learned. And it just got better from there.
So the moral of the story is keep pushing and never give up.
Keep on pushing. So what about you? So you played the drums. Did you ever play in a band?
I actually did a lot of what you did before GFI. Like I said, I actually I was a church boy, much like Nick was, but I was Catholic, not Christian. So, so I did a lot of my drumming and percussion. I did a lot of work in the church and the choirs and stuff, and then I kind of grew up through that.
Really?
Yes.
A drummer in a church?
Yes, even a Catholic church. Could you believe it?
Wow.
But that's where I learned a lot of my skills, the ability to be quiet, which is what a lot of drummers lack.
You can't be quiet as a drummer. That's why if you live in an apartment, forget about playing the drums. I'm sorry.
That's the only reason I picked up a guitar is I wanted to write music, and it's kind of difficult to write music with a set of drums.
Yeah, it really is. In fact, you know what the joke says is, what do you call a guy who hangs out with musicians? A drummer.
Oh.
Yeah, womp, bump, bump. No, just kidding.
But no, I also did a lot of percussion while I was in high school. Like I was on the drum band.
You were in drumline.
I was in the drumline.
Really? What did you play? Like the quads or something? What?
My first year, I could have done the quads, but I insisted on going up the right path and starting at the bass. I picked up the most
just the
difficult.
big one that sits in front of you and you just dum dum dum.
Yeah, you have it on your chest actually, the marching bass.
Yeah,
yeah, and our school had 5 of them. And I was number 2, which is always the offbeats, always the upbeats. So
number 2?
It was
going to cry number 2?
I was number 2. I was number 2. I almost wanted to, when I got out of high school, stay with the drum corps, the drum line.
Like go to college?
Well, I wanted to go to college, of course, but I never really. I almost wanted. I was like torn of whether I wanted to be in a band part of it or not. And I got to tell you, if there's any kids torn with that, if it is something that's tearing at you to do it or not do it, do it.
Yeah.
You're gonna regret it.
Well, also, it's a great way to pay for your education. They offer scholarships.
They can, yes. Yeah, and if you work really hard and you get good at it, and believe it or not, there's a lot of band members that don't even know about scholarships for band.
And from what I hear, the more bizarre the instrument, like if you play the bassoon or like an oboe or something, your scholarships get even bigger because there's more demand for you because nobody else does what you do.
Especially if you're good at it. If you're a good oboe player out there, oh my God.
I play a mean kazoo. Does that count?
You're fired. How many times have this is the 4th episode, and how many times have I fired you already?
I know, dude, but you're just going to hire me again.
Well, you're fun to
fire.
Yeah. And I
That's
want
my
to.
thing. That's
I
my
got the
niche.
Donald Trump hair going anyway, so I might as well.
You do
You're
have-
fired.
Donald Trump has way better hair than you. I'm sorry.
His is fake.
Well, it's still alive. That's why it looks so good. He keeps it fed with,
Sitting there,
yeah,
feeding it on the
he's
back of
feeding
his
it- Yeah, he's got a Purina bucket attached to his neck in the back, and that's what it eats. Oh.
See, this is you never know what you're going to find at the Dusty Futon. DustyFuton.com.
That's right. And on Twitter at Dusty Futon.
Oh, and we live tweet.
Every Wednesday when we release our material, we do a live tweeting session beginning at 4 p.m.
And it's real simple. All you got to do is either hashtag Dusty Futon or just send us a message at Dusty Futon through Twitter, and we'll respond right away.
They know how it works? God, you're so condescending.
I don't mean to be.
Oh man, we had so much fun back then running all of this and just trying new things, like stopping the episode mid-sentence and starting it with a random quote like the Freak the Mighty thing, getting off topic. We always have so much fun, so I'm glad you're here to be a part of it, and I hope you're enjoying the episodes as much as I am, listening back and looking at what we've done and where we've come from and where we are now. It's a lot of fun. So let's keep moving on and take a listen to Season 1, Episode 5 of the Dusty Futon.
Well, it's dirty and it's brown, it's a little undone, like I just got it out of been lost and found. Trying to test it, germ infested, stained by food, partially digested. Nobody can say what you find between the dirty couch gushers that have never been cleaned. Missing keys or American cheese, trying to sit where the kiss will conceive. Pleasure to meet ya, we're happy to see ya in the Dusty Futon.
So, well, I'm happy. We've got an Asian listener.
Yes, we have listeners in Asia and Australia even. I checked. So we're on 2 other continents besides North America.
We're
Officially.
international.
We're global.
We are truly global. We are the Dusty Futon has gone global.
Taken over.
Not quite global. So let's just say international.
Yeah.
We can say international, and that is legitimately the case.
I will concur with that.
So that's awesome. I'm glad. So if you're in a foreign country and you can understand us, thank you.
Yes. Ohio.
Oh yeah, Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio.
Is that Ohio?
Ohio. And
California.
California.
You said Ohio, so I said California.
You're such a funny guy.
So it's working for me. I like this.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
Not too bad.
And that's the best thing for me. And we're talking about music, and we were actually outside a few minutes ago, and we were trying to figure out how to continue, what to do next. And we found out that me and you have very differences in music.
Yeah, but I was surprised that you thought I was an alternative rock guy.
Well, you look like you if you've gone to the website and looked at Zombie,
Yeah.
Zombie Tyler, your picture on the DustyFuton.com.
Oh, yeah, that beautiful thing. That was on a good day.
So yeah, that was a great day. So if you go look at that picture, he looks like an alternative rock nerd, and so that's kind of what
that was my Uber driver uniform. Just got off the job and came straight into my not job.
Yeah. It doesn't pay,
Yeah,
but it's fun.
Yes, exactly. But I am not into alternative rock. In fact, I'm into a lot of the heavier stuff. In fact, one of my favorite bands is Megadeth. What about you? What's your favorite band?
You actually will be surprised what one of my favorite bands. Currently, at this point, I really like the Dirty Heads.
Oh, the Dirty Heads. So you're into reggae. And,
The reggae rap fusion that's going on, like reggae R&B fusion that's going on lately with them. And then there's a couple of other bands that I can't name off the top of my head. But they're in that kind of Rastafarian group as well, and it's a lot of fun. I don't know. It's a good energy music, I think, and so it's kind of like an uplifting almost whenever I listen to it, and it's great. But before I was introduced to that lifestyle and that type of music, I was an alternative rock guy, and I loved me some Foo Fighters. I loved me some Nirvana. I love me some
Foo Fighters.
Everything from the 90s rock. And I actually, interestingly enough, and I don't think we can prove this in this short time frame, so we may have to readdress this, because I talked to a friend,
and I made a statement that there are no true new rock stars since the early 2000s at the latest.
I will agree with that.
Because
and-
every member of every rock band that's playing right now has got its start in the 90s.
That's true.
And we haven't seen
Or
a good
before.
rocker form out from that younger of a generation.
Well, I definitely feel that rock has died. Well, not died, but it's in a coma more or less, and it's just kind of stepped away, and it's under the radar. It seems that the only way that rock actually comes alive is when they infuse it in some kind of music that's prevalent today, like even country. The biggest thing out right now is country music. That's the biggest moneymaker in America, hands down. And what I've noticed about a lot of these new country artists are that they're infusing classic rock into their songs. I went to go to a Eric Church concert, as an example, and I actually, in between his songs, I heard him playing Black Sabbath, War Pigs, and things like that. And these people all came from that. They're all heavily influenced by classic rock.
They grew up with that generation's music.
Yes.
Our parents' music we grew up with. Our musicians that followed us in suit and that were in our time, our age range from like the mid-20s to the mid-30s, grew up listening to this classic rock that we all now love and sample. And even the R&B artists, you've got Puff Daddy, his sampling started with a lot of classic rock. Eminem does a lot of classic rock tie-ins now. So all that current rap music.
Yeah, in fact, didn't Sam Smith get sued by Tom Petty because they used his song, his hook
Yes.
from the chorus?
And he didn't even know that he used it. So, I mean, there's a lot of that turnaround going on with the digital marketing too, which is a whole nother aspect where musicians are able to gain money that they never had access to. By what is that called, soundexchange.com,
Yeah.
where you can log into that and send up your music, and it'll actually look for your music being played on the internet and then tell you how much money is owed to you out there, and you can
What?
find money that musicians are owed. It's insane.
Holy crap. So
Yeah.
is that how people find out like the value of these rock stars? And this guy's worth, $4.1 bajillion and
Kind of. They use a kind of a similar type algorithm that goes based off of how many record sales, based off of how many digital downloads, based off of how much of the percentage of the copyright you actually hold as a musician, and blah, blah, blah. And all that boils down to find out, oh, you should have made this much, so you have a value of this much. And they can, it's all a numbers game. But the thing about this digital like I'm involved with it too with my band Paradox. We're trying to get our first single out there, and all the aspects of digital distribution are just so confusing. It's tough to
it's
figure
new.
that out.
I mean, it's a very new field to get into, and we're all kind of learning as we go.
Yeah.
Including this podcast in general.
Yes.
But, it's working, and it is the future. I mean, whether you like it or not, here it comes, and you better adapt or die like the dinosaurs.
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm actually liking this because it one of the things that it does do that previous generations never got to do, it allows for more experimentation, and it allows for cheaper, easier access to put yourself out to the general public.
We're utilizing unused resources
Yes.
out there, much like Uber, which I drive for.
Yes.
It's the same way. Some guy just said, "Hey, you know what? I want to start a taxi service, but I don't have any cars. Everybody else does. Let's see what we can do with that."
But the downside of this is the oversaturation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how many podcasts do you think are out there right now?
You mean we're not the only one?
That's the problem. We need to kill them all.
They must die.
They must
Bring it all
die.
down. We must got to take the power back.
I will crush Adam Carolla.
Big Jon smash.
Big Jon smash.
Adam Carolla, is he still around? What is that guy doing?
I don't know. I don't know why his name popped in my head. Wasn't he on the Man Show or something?
He was, and then Jimmy Kimmel just rolled right over the top of
And
him.
now look at Jimmy Kimmel.
I know, dude, he was the best.
I wonder if they're like stepbrothers now, where they kind of hate each other but kind of love each other. Like Adam Carolla watches Jimmy Kimmel every night eating some popcorn going, you son of a bitch, that could have been me.
I bet you Adam Carolla cries himself to sleep at night just thinking about Jimmy Kimmel's success.
Do you think he
I bet if you go to Adam Carolla's house, it looks like Ray Finkel's house from Ace Ventura. You know, it's all like written all over. Die, Jimmy, die!
Oh my God. I think I'm okay, Roxy. Roxy, the Dusty Futon resident dog, has come
she's
to
the
check
best.
up on me.
Yeah, she actually has a picture up on the website if you guys want to check it out.
Oh,
And me and
yeah.
her got a little close.
DustyFuton.com.
That's right. Check out all the fun pictures. In fact, send us some of your pictures. Submit at
Ooh.
DustyFuton.com.
That's right.
If you're on a futon or will be in the future, take a picture and shoot it over to us.
We want as many things you can find on a futon.
Yeah, we'll blast it. We'll put it up on our Facebook.
Yeah,
The Dusty
especially your girlfriends. You can send those specifically straight to Big Jon at DustyFuton.com. And so you can definitely do that anytime.
Yes. Also, make sure you guys tune in every Wednesday on Twitter.
We live tweet
We live tweet. Our handle is at DustyFuton.
at 4 p.m. every Wednesday. We will be behind this computer looking for you to say something to us because we're so freaking lonely.
We're lonely. No one wants to play with me.
I know, right?
Let us know what you think. Let us know anything. And
Yeah, we actually want your feedback, believe it or not. We actually care what you say. As a matter of fact, if you make valuable input to us, we will mention you on the air.
that's right. If you have a nice tweet, we're going to talk about it.
Booyah.
Was that a Howard Stern plug?
I don't know.
Oh.
I was just going to say booyah.
Baba Booey.
Booyah. I remember editing this and just thinking it was such a cool idea to end with random stuff like that. So, and then the live tweeting idea, we had no idea what we were doing, but we were trying to get some sort of thing on Twitter, and that didn't work. But I'll tell you this, we still want your feedback. It's always welcome. Any suggestions you have, ideas, even if it's bad, even if it's good, even if it's about the way we handle the episodes, the way we talk, whatever, we still want to know what you have to say. You can message us in very many ways. The easiest one, of course, being admin@dustyfuton.com, but you can also message us through Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all of those places that you normally can get a hold of anybody you want. Let's go ahead and take a listen to the last episode we're going to talk about, and that's episode 6. In this episode, we talk a little bit about this convention up in Anaheim called NAMM. If you've never heard about it before, we're going to tell you a little bit about it right now, and then I'll follow up after the episode with a lot more information than I found since then. So, put your headphones in and listen to episode 6, season 1 of The Dusty Futon.
Well, it's dirty and it's brown, it's a little undown, like I just got it out of and lost and found. Trying to test it, germ infested, stained by food, partially digested. Nobody can say what you find between the dirty couch gushers that have never been cleaned. Missing keys or American cheese, trapped to sit where the kiss will conceive. Pleasure to meet ya, we're happy to see ya in the Dusty Futon.
I'm offended by everything.
Well, that's because you're
Life.
Tyler. Did you say J-Lo?
Actually, no.
I thought
No,
you
I said in general.
I thought you said life and J-Lo. I'm
And
like,
J-Lo.
J-Lo pisses you off
Yeah.
that much?
No. She didn't do anything to me.
Hell no.
Anyway.
She can do anything to me. Bootylicious.
Give you taco flavor kisses.
Taco flavored
Taco flavor kisses. Taco burrito. Burrito taco.
Oh, my God.
All right, so being a musician, have you ever heard of NAMM?
You mean the National Associations for Music Merchants?
Yes.
No, I've never heard of it.
Okay. Well, tell me what you know about NAMM.
Well, besides the fact that it is an association of music merchants nationally.
Okay, stop being literal.
No, I know.
Take the
I kind
Google
get the
out of
base-
your
base-
mind.
It's kind of like a convention of sorts where people who are in the music industry can gather in cities to basically showcase and share new innovations in the industry, products or maybe new talent coming.
That's kind of the general consensus of what most people think is you hear about the NAMM convention, especially as a musician. You are a guitarist.
I am a guitarist, and I love new products, and I love new tech.
Yeah.
It excites me a lot.
So that's how you know about NAMM. So,
Yes.
Like what's something cool that's come out? Like
Well,
recently?
I actually went and I looked at a bunch of products that did come out, and there's a lot of things, and it's kind of all over the place, but I picked a few things that just really excited me being a musician and things that were important to me.
And I like your style of musician. You're a nerdy musician, so you're
I am kind of a nerd musician.
You're kind
But my mom says I'm cool.
Yeah,
so,
well, your mom. I like your mom too, but she said that I'm cool too. So does that count?
You sound like Pee Wee Herman.
Well, yeah, I guess that's a new voice I'm working on then.
So this one you may actually appreciate too. Okay, you're a drummer. You said that you're a drummer, unless you lied to me.
No, I did not lie.
Good, don't lie to me. Lies make every time you lie, baby Jesus kicks a puppy.
Oh no.
Anyway,
I like the
so how many times have you been playing the drums and you throw your stick
too damn
across
much.
the room? Like every time you play the drums, right? I've been nailed with those things. Right between the eyes, back of the head. I mean, it's a dangerous.
And they bounce off the walls really well. And
Yeah.
you never know. It's like dropping a football. You never know where it's going to go.
Exactly. So Vic Firth.
Yeah.
You've heard of them.
Big stick company.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
they know how to make trees into cool things.
Exactly. But not only sticks, they have these Vic gloves that you can buy.
Uh-huh.
And basically what it is, I mean, they have all these unique features. Like it's super comfortable.
Okay.
It breathes very well. Your hands don't get all sweaty. But the unique synthetic rubber grip on the thumb and the forefinger provides outstanding grip.
Okay, so basically it's an upgraded grip, and the glove breathes better.
Yes.
So less sweating of the palms.
Exactly.
I
And
hate
that
sweaty
way
palms.
I don't get nailed in the back of the dome with a flying stick.
Well, the drummers don't care about you.
No, they don't give a shit.
No, we care about keeping the beat and looking badass and making you look okay because you're standing in front of us.
That's right. Awesome.
So what else?
Gibson.
My favorite guitar brand.
Yeah.
I
the best.
love the Les Paul sound.
I do too. I really do. I wanted one so bad, but I'm broke.
I know.
I can't even afford to pay attention.
You can't afford to buy a pair of fucking headphones either.
Hey, I'm working on that, man. Uncle Sam is being a dick with my refund. and
He's a dick with everyone's refund. But
Nah,
what about
anyway.
so what about the Gibson? What do they do?
Okay, my least favorite part of being a guitar player is having to constantly tune that SOB, especially during shows. One string goes out and it makes the whole thing sound off. Other people might not pick it up, but I do, and it drives me crazy.
And if you have other good musicians in your band, it's driving them crazy too. They're going, God, that sounds like crap.
I know, right? Who's off? Who's flat?
Who's that?
It's lame. Anyway,
It's
so
you.
If you don't want to be a dick anymore, join the 21st century and get this auto tuner that they have come out with. It's built right back into the head of the guitar.
That type of auto.
No, not auto tune like T-Pain
No
or something like that.
T-Pain.
No T-Pain. No, not auto tune. It's an auto tuner.
Oh, okay. Forgot the
Auto tuner.
Auto tuner.
So it's built right into the back of your guitar. And it basically functions just as a tuner, except there's motors that are connected to your tuning pegs. So all you have to do, like for standard tuning, you turn the thing on, you strum all the keys at once, and it senses the vibrations in the strings, and automatically you just see them go, and they fix to a perfect tune. And as soon as it's done, they turn blue, the whole thing turns off
that
automatically.
is awesome.
Done. And it's great. So if you wanted to switch it to like drop D or double drop D or dadgab or anything, all you have to do is just pan over.
Hold on, I have to stop you. You said dadgab, and for most of the people that just overheard that, they
Yes.
went, "What the fuck?" But
Yes.
I know what that means.
Yes, because you.
DADGAB, strings in order.
Yes.
Woohoo!
That's right. That's right. He's got it. Tell him what he's won.
I've won a
High five.
yeah, there we go.
All right.
All right. So,
That's all you
dude,
get.
that's badass.
Yeah. Awesome. I
Now,
got.
do you have to buy the guitar with it, or does it have like an add-on that you can put on a new guitar?
Get this.
What?
Every new model 2015 and up is going to have these built in.
So when you go and buy a Les Paul,
A 2015 Les Paul.
you're going to get this.
It's going to have the
auto-tune.
auto tuner built right into that thing.
Oh, yeah.
I am pitching a tent right now. Can you hand me that pillow over there?
I know. Please cover that up. That's wow. I'm impressed.
away.
I'm impressed.
Hey.
Hey,
Now. Hey.
And that being said,
Yeah. So that, I think, was probably my favorite thing that I saw.
I've actually seen prototypes of those being built online.
Yeah.
Like over the last couple
Well,
of years.
they've had the robot guitar.
Yeah.
And I think Gibson even made that too. But it was specific just to that model. Now, every Gibson model should have these things built right into the back of the head. And it's got a rechargeable battery. The battery lasts about 100 tunes. And if you're changing your tuning 100 times during a gig, I think you're doing pretty well.
So
as a musician.
basically, you set it down when you're done and you charge it. So
Yeah.
wow.
Exactly. It's got a little, it comes with the charging station and everything. You just push it in, click it out. It's not like,
you know
double
what?
A.
You know what's coming out next year?
What?
Guitar stands with built-in chargers.
About
Booyah.
time. Dude, get on
I don't
that,
know.
man.
I don't
Oh, you
know.
don't?
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
So don't listen to me because I'm not the one who researched NAMM. I just know a little bit about it, but it's cool. NAMM, I mean, the fact that they do this.
I want to go. One of these days, me and you should go.
Well, here's the thing. We can't as podcasters, but once
Let's go with spectators.
Exactly.
Yeah, let's buy some tickets.
I have ways you can't be a spectator.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, see, that's the thing about NAMM. The NAMM show is
Fuck
not,
that. We're going Mission Impossible, dude. Like, I'm going to go
Dun, dun,
Ethan
dun,
Hawke and fucking, or not Ethan Hawke. What's his name? What's that guy's name? Ethan.
Wow. No,
What's his name?
No, that's not Ethan anything. That's Tom Cruise.
No, not, I know, but his character's name in Mission Impossible.
I don't know. I always thought it was a code name.
It's not important.
No, it's
well, no, not relevant.
But the thing is, I want you to know that with NAMM, you cannot just buy a ticket. You have to be a merchandiser of some sort, or be invited by a merchandiser, or be in an educational situation. Like the people that work in the music departments and the video departments, they also get tickets almost all the time. So it's a special invitation for the shows. But the thing about it, the NAMM organization itself, what they do is they've been going on since like 2006. And they're all about making sure music is out there and available. That's all it's about. That's what it started. They have youth programs. They do stuff for school.
Yeah. In fact, that was one thing that I passed by when I was looking at it on the website. And they have a top 100 schools and music organizations in America.
Yeah.
And I was actually really surprised that one of them was located right here in Santee.
Really?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's called the, give me a second here, the San Diego Performance Academy.
Oh, yes. That's the one over by Food for Less.
Yes, one of the top 100 music institutions in
Wow.
the country.
Well, see,
Who
and
knew?
that's great. So you learned something new by checking out the website and doing some little research.
I love the
And
internet.
taught me something, yeah.
Yeah.
You know why I love the internet?
What's that?
Because there's www.dustyfuton.com.
Aren't we also on Facebook?
I think so. Isn't there a web address for that as well?
You can search the Dusty Futon on Facebook, and it'll take you right to our page.
That is true. And you can also search Dusty Futon on Twitter, and you'll find out where you
No.
can tweet us
Shit.
at Dusty Futon.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding. And you want to know something else that's really cool?
Tell me.
We live tweet every Wednesday.
Son of a bitch, are you kidding me?
I am not kidding you. At 4 p.m. every Wednesday, we're going to be sitting behind a computer waiting for people to reach out to us because I have no idea what just happened, and there's no way for me to know because the original files for these episodes for season 1, 2, and 3 are on a hard drive that got very badly corrupted and is being worked on as we speak, but it's taking quite a while. If I remember correctly, we may actually explain that in episode 7. So you'll have to stay tuned with me to see next week if we actually find out why the episode ends so abruptly. But that's okay. Anyway, we had a lot of fun with that episode talking about NAMM, which I actually, working for Backstage 360 magazine, backstage360.com, have gained access to NAMM 2 years in a row since the airing of that episode, which has allowed me a lot more access to the music community itself, which has given me more knowledge base to grow and run this podcast, which has helped tremendously with being able to communicate and work with other musicians. The NAMM experience is incredible, so if you get a chance to go, make sure you go. So thank you again, everybody, for being a part, for listening to this episode and continuing on with the Dusty Futon. I apologize for my voice this week. I have suffered a massive cold for the last few days, which is why this episode is delayed. I couldn't wait any longer. I had to get it out today, and my voice sounds like crap. So next week it should sound better, though. I am taking all the necessary precautions.
But that being said, thank you again for being a part of this, and thank you for listening to this Big Jon Entertainment production. And thank you for Backstage 360 for their help and their participation in this episode. Make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes or Google Play or wherever you listen to your podcasts. You can search for us at The Dusty Futon. You can find our RS feed at dustyfuton.com. You can follow us at Instagram and Twitter at Dusty Futon or on Facebook at The Dusty Futon.